Well, it looks like Fiona killed the wrong witch. Oh, snap. American Horror Story episode review for the episode Fearful Pranks Ensue. And, there was a couple of big things to come out of this episode, but arguably the biggest one is that Madison was, in fact, not the Supreme. Fiona killed her purposefully by accident. Still not 100% clear, but it doesn't matter because she killed the wrong one. Of course, this is after she gets accused of killing Madison by the council, this very Alice in Wonderland looking group of people. So now we're left wondering who the new Supreme really is. It could be Zoe. That's what I think a lot of people were thinking at first. But if it is Zoe, man, she's got a long way to go, because at this point I just do not find her all that likable. Because, I mean, in this episode, Zoe, we see her talking to Frank and Kyle after he's killed his mom, and she says she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. And it's like, what the hell did you think was going to happen when you dropped this brain-dead Frankenstein off at his mom's house? Where was the logic there? There was none. It was a totally boneheaded move, and it was just a logic-free story element to just try to, take the story in a different direction. But I do like where they're going forward here. Zoe, it looked like she might have been willing to kill Kyle with some rat poison there in his food, but then she finds out that he has escaped, and it's trick-or-treat, so he's just going to blend right in with all the other costumes. This little Frank and Kyle running around, so who knows what's going to happen there. Alright, so let's talk about Marie a little bit. Her opening scene, where one of her friend's children gets attacked by these racist buttholes, and then she does this spell, calls up some zombies, sends them after him. It was an awesome opening scene. I mean, I didn't expect there was dismemberment, guts ripping out. It was good stuff. And then Fiona manages to rip Bastion the Minotaur's head off. And I wish they would have showed what sort of fight scene took place there, but they didn't. That's okay. But she ripped his head off, had the butler, I'm assuming, send it over in a box. And you could see, when Marie looked inside, you could see the eyeball wink or blink. So I thought that was a neat touch. And then that causes Marie to completely flip out, and she's about to break this peace treaty between the two witch clans that apparently came together between Marie and the last Supreme, whom Fiona killed. And the scene where she's getting her spell ready, talking about what's happened in the past, I like that. It had a lot of build-up to it, a lot of, terrible inter-clan witch war stuff to come. And Fiona, she did save Queenie's life, actually. Her heart had stopped. She breathed life into her, basically. Pretty neat little scene. And as far as Queenie goes, I felt no sadness towards her, for getting Minotaur raped. I mean, she threw out the biggest invitation ever. I mean, not to be gross, but if the invitation did get any bigger, her vagina would have had to have grown legs and just walked over to Bastion and given it a hug. All right, so let's talk about this butler. He's actually getting some more screen time than I expected. He's very much in love with Fiona. He's willing to cut his own tongue out to protect her. And, he's got this creepy doll collection and an even creepier tea party. And then you can see that he's using Madison's corpse as part of his, tea party collection. And poor Madison, man, she's had it rough during the course of this show. I mean, the first episode, she was gang raped and thrown against the wall. Second episode, she got thrown against the wall in that one. The third episode, she got murdered, and now her corpse is being used in some gross tea party. And things aren't really working out too well for her. But even though the butler is a complete creepy oddball, he's kind of has a little bit of an endearing quality to him. He was willing to do that for Fiona, and he kind of gave that scarecrow a hug. I thought that was kind of goofy. And then at the end of the episode here, we had some random person tossed something in Cordelia's face. I'm guessing it must have been acid. They didn't really come straight out and say it, but judging by the reaction, it certainly seemed like it. I'm going to go ahead and assume it was from the opposing witch faction. And then we had the zombie attack on the school when you have Cordelia and Fiona out, so it's just the kids there. And the random handsome neighbor guy who has the worst timing in the world to come over seconds before a zombie attack to drop off some cupcakes or something. Real bad timing there. And it looked like the 3 zombies that were at the door, they were LaLaurie's 3 daughters, possibly, brought back from the dead there, which also makes me wonder, is Madison going to come back to life during this zombie attack? I don't know, but it's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week with that. Alright, so my favorite scene of the episode was with, I liked the opening with the zombie attack and the dismemberment and all that stuff, really good stuff, but I actually liked the stuff with Cordelia's husband a little bit more. Again, another character that I thought was just going to be a small side character, but, you know, he's cheating on Cordelia, and then he goes on to have some insane hypersex, and then you get this very menacing undertone towards him, where he's like, well, last year I was a monster. And then the menace continues in the later scene where they're eating, and then he just pulls out this gun and just blows her away. I knew something bad was going to happen. I didn't think it was that. So who knows what he really is, if he's just like a serial killer. Who knows? I really liked his part in this episode, though. I totally didn't see it coming. It's a new twist that I'm interested to see where it goes, and I just like the undertone, the way he played it. And the scene at the table right before he killed the redhead kind of reminded me of American Psycho a little bit. So I like that. And then we find out later that not even Cordelia or Fiona know anything about it, only that Fiona suspects something. And as far as, you know, what I liked least in this episode, I didn't really have a particular part that I really disliked. I kind of enjoyed the entire episode. Now I'm going to go ahead and give this episode a B+. I really liked it. It was really basically a big setup for next week's episode. This probably could be considered the first of a 2-parter, and there was just lots of reveals here. You know, Madison wasn't the Supreme, the big twist with Cordelia's husband, and the zombie onslaught coming in. Like, what I'm thinking is, what happens if that neighbor boy dies? Is his super religious mom gonna go completely freaking bonkers? You know, a whole bunch of possibilities for next week's episode. And one thing that kept this episode out of the A grade, it was a little too all over the place, just hitting on just about every character, and then, you know, traveling, you know, back to the past and showing what happened there in different time periods. It was a little unfocused at parts. So that's what kind of kept it out of the A, but I did really like it, and I want to see if they can hit this big payoff that they set up for next week. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, JB Squared, 61279 with an American Horror Story review, and I will see you guys next time.